So today we're going to dive into a really powerful message for the world we're living in right now. It's from a text called The Gospel of Hope and Healing. Now, it's not a long read, but the ideas inside on how to get through our, pretty complex lives, they really hit home. Let's break it down.
Let's just start with this question, right? Ever feel the weight of the world? It's so simple, but it gets to the absolute heart of it. That feeling of just being overwhelmed, of carrying this huge load. It's something so many of us can relate to, and it's the exact place this whole message begins.
All right, so first up, this message doesn't kick off with a bunch of easy sunshine and rainbows answers. Nope. It starts by looking our reality right in the eye and actually naming the challenges, the heavy burdens that we're all dealing with.
And this is just so important. This message isn't coming from some disconnected place that ignores what it's like to struggle. It starts by validating what we feel. It says, yeah, things can be incredibly tough. The pressure is real. And that acknowledgement, it's the foundation for everything that comes next. And then it gets even more specific. The text really pinpoints these three emotions, fear, anger, and confusion, as these currents running underneath so much of modern life. Fear about what's next, anger at all the injustice you see, and just plain confusion about which way to go. Sound familiar? Yeah. So after setting the stage with this really heavy reality, the text makes a big pivot. It moves away from the problem and starts to offer up a solution. A message of hope that's specifically designed to push back against those very burdens.
And this part is absolutely crucial. It's not about just sitting back and waiting for the world to get better. The message frames this as an active, conscious choice. It's all about putting the power back in your hands. It's about you deciding to walk a different path, no matter how messy the world around you is.
Now, what's so interesting here is how these principles are like a direct counterattack on those feelings we just saw. You meet fear with faith, you meet anger with patience, and you meet that sense of confusion with kindness to yourself and to others. It's a very direct, very intentional strategy.
This quote, man, it just gets right to the soul of the message. It's more than just a nice, comforting phrase. It's this deep reassurance. It's a reminder that even when you make that hard choice, to be kind, to have faith, you're not expected to go it alone.
So, how do we actually do this? How does it become more than just an idea? Well, it's not just about what you feel inside, it's about what you do. And the first major action it points to is maybe one of the hardest of all, forgiveness. And this just lays out the challenge so clearly, right? Loving people who love you back, that's the easy part. That's expected. The text is calling for something way, way deeper. A love that you extend even to people who have hurt you, or who just plain don't get you. That's where the real work and the real change happens. And let's be clear, the text says this isn't just some nice-to-have idea. It's a powerful tool, the act of offering this deeper love, this forgiveness. It's not really for the other person's benefit. It's presented as the very thing that allows us to heal. Because holding on to all that resentment is exhausting, isn't it? It's another heavy weight we carry, and forgiveness is choosing to finally put it down.
And there it is, spelled right out. Forgiveness, in this context, isn't about saying what happened was okay. It's about release. It's the key that unlocks healing, not just in our relationships, but inside our own hearts. Okay, so if forgiveness is the action you take outwardly, the next pillar of the message is all about your internal posture, trust. And specifically, how in the world do you find faith when you're surrounded by so much uncertainty? And you know that feeling of confusion we talked about at the beginning? This idea hits it head on. It's this encouragement to trust the process, to believe there's a purpose to it all, even when the path forward is super foggy and you can't see what's coming next.
What's great is that the text doesn't just say, hey, trust more. It actually gives us a kind of roadmap. You start right where you are, by admitting it's hard. Then you try to shift your perspective to see a purpose even in setbacks. And that helps you actively let go of worry, which makes space for you to finally place your trust in a bigger picture. This quote right here, this is the core belief that makes that whole process possible. It's the idea that nothing in your life is wasted. The struggles, the waiting, the frustrations, it's all part of a curriculum, one that's designed to help us grow. It's a really powerful way to look at life's bumps in the road.
So, what happens when you actually start to live this way? When you combine that radical forgiveness with that deep trust? Well, the text suggests a pretty beautiful outcome. You don't just change your own life, you actually become a source of hope for other people.
It's this idea that your own internal change creates a ripple effect out in the world. By really living out these principles of love and faith, your life itself becomes the message. It becomes a light in a world that, like we said at the start, can feel pretty dark sometimes.
And what does that light look like? Well, it's not about being the loudest or most perfect person in the room. It's about these three things: humility, knowing you don't have all the answers; compassion, acting with genuine kindness; and truth, just living your life with integrity.
So as we bring all these ideas together, you can really see the main takeaway. This message isn't complicated. It doesn't require a PhD to understand. Its real power is in just how simple it is and how directly it speaks to our day-to-day lives.
And really, if you were to boil this whole entire text down to one sentence, this is it. It's a three-part compass for life. Look up in love, look out in love, and look forward with hope. Simple as that.
But at the end of the day, this whole message is a call to do something. It's not just something to understand, it's something to live out. So I want to leave you with this question to think about. Looking at your own life, your own burdens, what is just one fear, big or small, that you could choose to meet with faith, starting today?